How's it going?
Good, man. Congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.
Talk about kind of playing spoiler like that. And I mean, we talked about it the other day, and like you kind of relish that kind of opportunity, but you had to expect that if you got your hand raised, you were going to hear the boo birds, and they were pretty loud.
Yeah, absolutely. Expected it. I honestly didn't expect as much. I thought, in the end, it would be a fight where I can gain the respect of the fans and because we put on a show, and I believe we sure as heck did that. And but it's okay. It's part of the game, part of the sport, and Matt was very respectful, and I love the guy, and still a huge fan of his, and honored to share the octagon with him for 15 minutes and share some blood together.
You tried to turn him at the end there with like the nice PR move about blue collar and Midwestern roots and stuff like that, but
yeah, it wasn't.
Maybe
really...
they'll like you more next time, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it wasn't really trying to get him on my side. It's the truth. That's what I feel about being here in Columbus, and that's what it is. The blue collar workers are here, and I believe I'm that kind of person, and I believe Matt that's kind of person. And we work hard, and go in there and put on a fight like that. You hope to get the fans and on your side, so we'll see.
That was we also talked about the other day. On paper, everybody's saying this is the fight of the night, right? And that's pretty much what you guys delivered. I mean, when you go in expecting it to be that kind of a barn burner and just brawl and just dirty and nasty, and it plays out that way, is there more appreciation for it afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my coach gave me the okay to finish it in the first round, this time around, and it didn't quite go that way. We ended up dragging out another fight of the night kind of thing. But honestly, it was everything I dreamed it would be, everything I hoped it would be. And for me to come out with a win was super exciting and, blessed. And I believe I did enough in there to get the win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why you guys both were excited about this fight staying together after it got canceled a few months ago. I mean, talk a little bit about that, I guess, and just being appreciative that you got to have this kind of an opportunity against a guy like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super thankful. When it fell out the first time, bummed. Obviously, but I didn't spend that whole time not working, not getting better, not wanting to fight. So we were ready to take on anybody. I had a full fight camp, so thankfully I had someone step up and fought anyways. Was pushing for the fight to happen. It didn't sound like from the UFC, the matchmaker standpoint, like it was going to be able to something that was come back together. So I was praying, and then I saw the Columbus card, and I was like, well, he's from there. This is a perfect opportunity to push for it even more. So I messaged him, not messaged him, but tweeted at him on Twitter and everything too, and he was like, I'm waiting for a contract. And, I'm on the matchmakers telling him, and I'm really glad it happened. This is the last fight on my contract. I haven't been open about that, but this is the last fight on my contract. UFC didn't say anything about renegotiating. I tried to ask about it. Dana White, let's talk. I'd love to keep fighting. I'd love to keep putting on shows. I don't want to fight anywhere else. If this is it, if you don't want me no more, that's okay. I'll hang them up here. I should have left my gloves in the octagon if that's the case. But if not, I'd love to keep putting on shows.
If for some reason they said, yeah, we're gonna let you go do your own thing, would you retire then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'd be
you wouldn't
done.
go give it a shot somewhere else. I mean,
no,
yeah.
I'd be done. Me and my wife talked about this a lot. The UFC's, that's where I want to be. And so it was the goal the whole time. I'm excited. I love being here. They treat me well. I love being in front of these fans. It's the biggest organization out there, the best organization out there as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? If they don't want me to come out and put on shows anymore, I'll hang them up and I'll go spend my daily at the farm with the family and work on building that.
I mean, I'm not a betting man. Well, I am a betting man. But I would bet they're probably going to be glad to bring you back. But you guys had a moment afterwards. Like most split decisions, each guy probably thinks that they did enough to win. I'm sure that he's thinking he was going to get his hand raised. Same as you. What did you guys talk about, I guess, right in that immediate aftermath of the fight once you knew that you had won?
Actually, we both kind of talked about just how this is exactly what we expected of each other, that we love the way each other fights. And, it's pretty much everything we dreamt of it was going to be. We wanted to bring the fans and put on a fight and just the respect we have for each other. And honestly, when the crowd was booming when I was getting announced, I looked across the octagon and there was Matt Brown, applauding me, applauding as, they were announcing my name. Nothing but respect for the guy, nothing but respect. He's a class act. Again, as always, I love the way he fights. He brings it, and a class act gentleman for sure.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bryan over here. Congrats on the win. It was a battle. I mean, it was a battle through all 3 rounds, which is kind of what we all expected. But when you fight a guy in his hometown, there is always that worry of the judges. Not that they're not doing their job, but the crowd kind of rises and falls with every punch he throws, every punch he lands. Were there any nerves in that moment when you heard it was a split decision?
No, I kind of figured it'd be close. I felt like I got the better of the striking in the most part, especially in the clinch. I felt like I got the better in the elbows, and I thought, if anything, it was the takedowns that maybe kind of pushed it over one way. So, I thought it was close going into third, and I thought it was honestly the last final, push at the end that, and rocking him a couple times that, outweighed his takedowns, and then the final push at the end where I put on a lot of damage that, get it over to me.
You know how tough Matt is, but were there any moments you're hitting him and you're like, why won't this guy just go down? Like, you hit him with some really hard shots, and you had him hurt a couple times, but he just kept coming back. He'd throw an elbow, or he'd back off and throw something. It was just like, he was like The Walking Dead out there.
Yeah. He's super tough, and I thought I was going to be able to put him away, and for a second there, it looked like he was going to go down. But I wasn't surprised that he was going to keep pushing. I wasn't surprised that he was going to try to keep throwing and try to keep fighting back, and he wasn't going to be easy to, take out of there. So just try to stay consistent. He was good at, getting away from some shots while he was really injured and moving away and tying me up and things like that in those exchanges. So, he's a veteran for a reason, and he's very skilled and very dangerous, and, he was able to survive tonight.
What is the feeling you said, going into this last fight in your contract? I mean, in terms of the pressure, because, listen, got to be honest, a loss, that might determine the contract. You know what I mean? That might just be like, okay, we're done. Win here, I think we all believe you should get another contract, especially after the fight like that. But, again, was there any nerves or anything like that going into the fight?
Not at all. Like I said, if the UFC wants me, I'm ready to put on some more action, and I believe I do that every single time I fight. And I think, people can count on that, whether it be against Matt Brown, whether it be anybody, I'm going to bring the heat every single time. So if they want me, I'm ready to put on some action. If not, that's okay. So there's no pressure because I'm okay with it. If they don't want me, I'm okay with, all right, then I'll be done, and I'm going to go work on my farm and be with my family. It's another thing I love to do. And, we're building our farm as it is. And if this is it, then I'll put more focus into that and, be with my family. So another thing I love to do. So,
assuming they do bring you back, though, this fight, as soon as it got made, everyone was like, oh, this is going to be a great fight. And, of course, you guys delivered. When you look at the future, would that be the kind of the fight you'd always like to have? Like, again, I'm sure you're not going to turn down opponents, but you got up for a Matt Brown fight. You got excited about a Matt Brown fight. Like, would that kind of be ideally the kind of fights you'd like having going forward?
Ideally, yes. These are the kind of matchups I want. I think they excite me. I think they excite it excited Matt Brown. I think it excites everybody who is, the fans, everybody. I honestly would love to fight. The next person I'd love to fight would be Robbie Lawler. I think that would be an awesome matchup. I'd love to test myself against him. He's one of those guys who brings it, and I'm a fan of him. I think that would be an awesome matchup. There's tons of other matchups out there of guys who, come to throw down and bring it. So I think there's definitely a lot of matchups. But, yeah, I'm not going to turn down anybody. Whoever's name comes on that contract, you can count on me saying yes.
Better farmer, you or Bryce Mitchell?
I don't know. I don't know. Bryce Mitchell's probably been doing it his whole life. I'm new to it. I didn't grow up around livestock or on a farm or anything like that. So I'd probably give it to Bryce Mitchell. But I respect him. And I definitely respect him. And, maybe I should get together with him sometime and try to learn some things about the farm that he can teach me for sure.
Congrats again.
Thank you very much.
It seems like we're seeing the UFC let more and more fighters fight out their contract. It's not like it's anything personal or anything that they're sort of judging. Do you have that sort of thought as well, that if they did let you fight out your contract, it's not maybe a reflection of the fact of you and how you fight, just maybe that they're now in a practice of letting more fighters fight out their contract?
Yeah, I have noticed that, they've been doing that a lot, and I figured like they possibly would make me do that this time around. I did think that because of the way I fight, because of how I fight, and, the excitement that I bring, that, we would renegotiate before that happened, and, I wouldn't be one person to fight out my contract, but, the time has come, here it is, and it's well, like I said, let's talk, Dana White, let's talk. I would love to come and keep putting on fights.
Well, and it doesn't. I mean, your fight style, you do take some damage, but tonight you're not the worst for wear. I mean, it doesn't look like you're all that bad. So it looks like you still have much more mileage left in the tank. So I mean, even though you say that if they let you fight out your contract and you're willing to go away, is that a decision that you think maybe you could change in 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, or is it once you make that decision? Are you done, or do you think that the competitive juices won't come back at you at some point?
I'm sure they will, and honestly, I can't tell you. We'll see. I'll have to talk with the UFC, and hopefully they do bring me back, and I get to continue to doing it and continue to put on fights. But I can tell you that if they don't want to, then I want to be with my family, and I want to be building my farm, and I'll be helping my teammates and helping them continue on their careers and do things and get to this point right now. And I believe a lot of these guys will, Tom Lane, who's in my corner, Paul Carson's in my corner. I believe they'll be right here, putting on shows for you guys in the near future. It's hard as heck to find those guys fights already. So I can guarantee you they'll be here, and I'll help them do that. So I really hope to continue to put on a show. And I don't know if it's ever been done, if there's been a double fight of the night bonus, but I mean, I believe this is a double fight of the night kind of fight right here. This was in Columbus. So Dana White, let's double it up. Or whoever's decision it is, let's double it up. I mean, me and Matt Brown really threw down, put it out there for everybody. It was everything it was supposed to be, and let's double it up.
And I know you gave him lots of respect out there. Was there anything about him and what he pulled out tonight that surprised you, or did he live up to everything that you expected?
We knew he was going to go those foot sweeps in the clinch, and we practiced them so many times and worked over them, and I like to do them too as well. Gosh, they caught me off guard every single time. He swept the heck out of me. Was able to bounce back from it and get up or whatever, but I was just like, God dang it, come on. We're better than this. But so it was all good, man. It was just fun to be in there and fun to exchange with him. What I was really happy about is, landing some of my own really clean elbows on him. He's the elbow king right there and gets in there nice and dirty. So he landed some good ones, and I landed some good ones there as well. So it was nice to exchange those elbows with him.
And last thing for me, it did sort of look like it came maybe down to that third round. What was your corner telling you going into that third? Did they kind of tell you that it's all or nothing in that third round, that you may be 1-1 between the two of you? Yeah,
kind of. They're just like, we got to keep pushing. We got to put the pressure on him. This is it. We got to continue to push. Come underneath. He's dipping. You keep throwing too high. We need to come underneath and just continue with the pressure. You're hurting him every time you hit him. He's wanting to take it down. Let's continue to put the pressure on him. Continue to stay on him. He's tired. So it's just what we had to do. We had to continue to grind, continue to push forward. And that's nothing that we're not used to. So.
And I know I said last thing, but I love that you allow the fingernail painting and everyone. It sort of changed. Was there ever a decision that maybe you wouldn't want to keep a winning color scheme going to the next fight, or is it always like, hey, just give me something different this time around?
Whatever she wants, whatever my daughter wants is it. I don't. If coming off a win, loss, if we do the same colors off a loss, it doesn't matter. Whatever she wants is what we're gonna do, and it's gonna be great.
That's awesome. You're a good dad.
Oh, thank you very much.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you so much.